And we're live. What's up, you guys? Clary, I think, is a little bit late today, but he will be here. But that's okay because I don't need him for this first very important part of the show, and that is what am I going to be drinking tonight? And it is going to be a gumball head from Three Floyds Brewery. It's not that far from here. It's in Munster, Indiana. And when I first moved to the Midwest, this was definitely one of my favorite beers. And so anytime I see it in the supermarket, I grab it because you can't always find it. So it's an American wheat ale. It's about 5.6%. So it's nothing too heavy. And I'm excited to drink it because it was kind of a long day. Yeah. Oh, let me get Clary in here real quick. What's up, man?
I don't know. Is that I don't know if that's a sporting shirt or a gay shirt, but it's. I'm still trying to figure out my opinion on it.
The one I'm wearing?
Yeah, the one you're wearing. It's kind of. I'm leaning more towards classy.
Well, guess who picked it out?
I'm gonna guess someone of the female persuasion. Our dentist buddy.
The candidate. No. Yeah. So how's your day been? It looked like you were acting like you use a lot of tools.
Yeah, I did. I organized my tools. I finished officially. This is October 5th was the celebratory day. I celebrated my last project, which was putting in the walk-in closet. The last bolt went in. I'm like, that's it. I knew there'd be one last bolt, and that would be it. That'd be the celebration, and then the
You said
house.
October 5th?
October 5th last year, and I thought I was done, but then again with the rain, and like so now I am officially done with the landscaping and everything, and I even had the extra time to put up a tool rack. So I got rid of my old toolbox that my neighbor from 20 years ago gave me, who unfortunately has passed away since then. So I gave it to a kid. So I went through all my tools because I knew I had doubles, and I had a fair amount of extra wrenches and screwdrivers and things. And so a friend of mine, she's got some kids that are interested in carpentry, but their dad won't buy them tools. I'm like,
What?
okay, well, I don't know. I mean, they're not rich. I mean, tools aren't exactly cheap. You can always go down to like the Fix-It Center or whatever, probably get some pretty cheap tools. So I said, well, I'll bring in some tools. So I gave him the tool. I didn't want to throw away. Norm was his name. There's my old neighbor, Norm. And he gave me his tools because he was too old to work on tools anymore. So I passed on Norm's toolbox to two little kids that will probably play with it or something. Maybe become great carpenters someday.
Cool. What was that picture you sent earlier? What were you doing on the side? Was that the side of your place?
That's the side of the house. I don't know if you know the north side.
Yeah.
Were you here when the solar panels were in or no?
I was last there no, it was May of last year. So when did you get those?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they were there, maybe not. Anyway, so that the where the hill is.
Yeah.
That that water drains towards the house. The sister fornicating tradesmen that populate South Dakota sloped the land towards the house, so water was going not into the basement. I'm sure they sealed that, but I slanted it away from the house, put plastic down, and then had to put 7 yards of gravel down on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I went to the gym yesterday, and I wish I didn't do that because I was sore to start hauling wheelbarrows full of rock, and I'm not going to the gym tomorrow.
Well, I was just at the gym with my dentist / personal trainer / friend, and I showed him that picture of your garage of all the tools that you.
Yeah. What snide remark did our friend have? I know it wasn't a compliment. Aaron's a really hard worker and he organizes tools. That's good to see. No, of course not. What petulant little childish thing did he say?
He was like, "Oh, I see. So he's organizing them to make it seem like he actually uses them."
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, what is he? Is he a regular Bob Villa or something?
No,
does he work on the house a lot?
We were joking because I actually ended up having a bit of a long day, and so did he. And I'm like, we were thinking, oh, I bet Clary had a really long day of fixing up his house and everything. And so we were just we were joking that, people who have full-time jobs and everything, they have to do their jobs and then they also have to fix the house. So
I can regale you all with the tale again, but I don't think I need to, about the many 80-hour. Me and Atham have a very similar background, and in the past I have put in my dues, and now with this ridiculous job I have during the daytime, I have no guilt spending 8 hours a day working on my house, none whatsoever.
nor should you, as far as I'm concerned.
No, no, I don't. Well, I mean, I imagine you being self-employed, you ditched the 9 to 5 corporate
Oh yeah.
dildo in your ass. I
Yeah.
mean, you said to hell with that. Do you feel guilty? I mean, you
Oh,
still put in
fuck
a lot of
no.
work, right?
Fuck no. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like I'm telling you, man, like you know what I do, or you know what I did and what I do to order to be in this position.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and I don't think a lot of people understand that with self-employed. I think our audience does, but your rank and file people like, oh, you're just this big rich fat cat, and you just have all your employees do the work. Well, one, we don't have employees because people are not reliable.
I don't want
But
any.
yeah, and there's and your job obviously has an obvious work component to it. And I will be the first to admit that mine is a fraction of real work, but there is still a tedium of, I was barely on time because my computer was effing up, and, you got to go, and it just, your cell phone breaks. You got to get that fixed up. I mean, it's and all the taxes, I got to do my accounting and everything. So there is real work involved. You just don't see it's not in the finished product. You don't see it at the finished product.
Right. Candidate's phone broke just last night while I was talking to her.
How long? See, I have a new, because it took me, so I was impressed with how quickly I had like a 3 hour turnaround time. I was without a phone. How long
Yeah.
did it take her to get the new phone?
She got it today, but we were FaceTiming and we ended up, going pretty late. So
Mhm.
suddenly around like 12:45 a.m. or something, the thing just
Just
breaks. Like yeah, it was like the screen was frozen. These crappy iPhones, I
Oh,
fucking
was it
hate them.
Oh, really? Apple?
Yeah,
But I thought Apple was so much superior to us mere Android troglodytes.
yeah. Every day I'm like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stick with an iPhone, but
Do you have an iPhone?
I do. I have two of them, and
Mhm.
they're fine. But I'm so tired of their bullshit because they're always like upgrading shit. Like they changed the apps when I didn't ask them to change it.
Right.
Automatic stuff that I know you hate with computers.
Oh,
Like
I hated the Android, all these questions it was asking me, but Apple, I hear, is just like 10 times worse.
I think it's bad, but I mean, I'm so used to it by now.
If I recall correctly, can you plug your iPhone into the computer and transfer files, or do you have to do an app that allows, like, if you want to play MP3s, okay?
Mhm.
Uh, I will download MP3s because I want to go hiking. I don't have access to the internet, so I want to have the listen to podcasts from the phone. So all you do, I got the wire right here. You take this wire, you plug it in your phone, and it acts like a backup drive essentially, and you can transfer your files. Now, does Apple allow that, or
I don't think
I
Apple
lost you there
lets
for
you.
a second?
We good? You hear me? We're good. Clary, I'm
Yeah, I
here.
hear you now. You're delayed a little bit. Yeah, all right.
Shoot, that's probably on my end. But anyway, we good? You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
can you
They
hear
make
me?
it hard. Yeah, I can hear you. They make it hard to do that. Like what you're saying, they make it really hard to do because if you want to like change your ringtone or something and it's not like a pre-approved, Apple little jingle or whatever. Because I tried to do
Mhm.
this once, they made it fucking impossible for me to like put an MP3 on there. So it's shit like that pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't have patience for that. Like and as time has gone on, I ran it. Oh, that reminds me, I got to upload the road trip podcast on my Subscribe Star. I want to record because I'm hiking. It was a 9 mile hike, and so I will usually record a
Where'd you
30-minute
go?
pod. I did this place called Barnes Canyon, not too far away from my joint.
Oh,
And it's not, I won't take you there. It's kind of a boring hike. It was a nice walk. I got some exercise. It, beats a day at the office, but
mm.
it's in Custer Park. So I'm trying to, this is a relatively new phone. I'm like, oh, here's the video or audio recorder. I hit it. It says grant permission to record. It's like, why are you calling the voice recorder if I got to get, yes, record. So I give it permission. Grant access to memory, it's like, if I didn't want you to do this, I wouldn't have had it on the phone. And so it's only become more and more complicated. I'm sure it's for like safety features and all this other double redundancy, but the phones are not. I think there's always, like with technology, like the internet being an example, there was a golden era before the Karens came in.
Hmm.
So like YouTube, you can make anything. It was like Rumble. You could curse and swear and talk about whatever thing you wanted. People are very libertarian. They didn't care. Well, then the brigade that gets sand up their hoo-ha had to come in because they didn't like that. And then I think it's all this added functionality that isn't not so much Karen's as much as it is this constant improvement, which you've experienced in the corporate world, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't just let it be. It has to constantly be improving, and they go beyond the optimal point where whatever your system, your process, your technology, or your product, it was fine. And now it's like a German Panzer or a Tiger tank. It's way over engineered, and it's no longer functional as it used to be.
God. Yeah, I know, man. I'm seeing that all over the place, actually. So,
Mm.
yeah. The other thing I wanted to check in on you about is you're all by your lonesome for a little while. I
I
want to make sure
am.
everything's going okay.
You know, it was kind of sad yesterday. I went into town, and so people were there and chit chatting with them. And I was like, yeah, I am kind of. It's only been well now 72 hours or whatever. But I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of a little lonely, and
Yep.
it's I've just been working, so I haven't gotten a lot of social activity aside from the Menards checkout lady. But that's about it. But yeah, I'm a free bachelor man for 2 weeks, and there will be hopefully now that everything's done, there'll be a lot more hiking and motorcycle ride. After this, I think I'm going to pull a great one and switch into my pajamas and just stay in for the night.
Yeah, we took a mini gentleman's bet. Our dentist friend thought you were actually going to show up in your pajamas
It
right now.
I'm not. I was literally trying to finish off a cigar after I put the last wheelbarrow full of gravel down and patted it down, spread it out, and then it was like right. Not a second was lost today. Not a second was lost.
Yeah, I had a busy day too. I had a bunch of appointments, and I got rained on. It wasn't supposed to rain today, and I just got caught, just
Oh,
soaked.
dude, that was the other thing. I would have had this finished yesterday, but we just been getting a ton of rain, which thank
Yeah.
God, because this is all drainage that I'm working on. But I'm working in mud. So this morning I went out, then a storm came through, and I tried to work again, but it was too muddy. Like the wheelbarrow was slipping. And then I'm like, okay, so I went and ran some errands in town. And then I came back, the sun was out, it dried. So I started going back, and then another storm rolled right
Hmm.
in. But thankfully I was done this time. But yeah, kind of working between the rain clouds I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that was what today was.
What out of curiosity, what do you do as an off-season accountant? What are your obligations? What are your activities you had today?
I had to go to a chiropractor. Still dealing with a little bit of a
Oh
back
God, the
issue.
GF is gonna love to hear that. Okay, all right. So you went to your shaman and you went to your witch doctor. All right.
Yeah, and by the way, in the chat they're saying you're a little delayed, but can you hear me right now? You good?
You hear me, Chad?
Yeah, yeah, they're saying it's on your
If
end.
it's me, two if it's
Yeah,
Chad.
they're
It's on
saying
my end.
that's what they're saying. Yeah, but anyway, I think we're good now.
Hang on, let me run the speed test. All right.
No, so I had to do that, and then I had another doctor's appointment where I was kept like waiting like so fucking long, so it was really irritating. Then I had to run a bunch of errands. I And as soon as I got home, it was time to meet up with you know who to go to the gym and everything. So I got caught up with him, spent a few hours doing that. It was just like a bunch of things that I'd scheduled that I had to do that really took up most of the day. So
Okay, well, it definitely is on my end here. Well,
yeah,
it says I got
can
pretty
you
good
hear me?
download. Yeah, I can hear you. You're just coming in and out, and usually when storms roll through. No, it looks like I'm at least according to the speed test. I don't know. It could be.
You're
You
fine.
know what it might be? It might be my damn computer. Is it what it might be? So let me take a
We're
look.
fine.
Do a Control Alt Delete. All right, so you're just running errands. You didn't have like obligations
Oh
or
no, no, no,
like
no, no,
related
no.
to
Yeah,
accounting.
Yeah, this was not. I really didn't do it. I answered a few emails. That's the extent of what I did with the business. So, but it was all just a bunch of personal stuff that I kind of scheduled in one day because I like to do that. You know, like when I'm out, I just stay out.
Mm.
Um, there was actually something. Well, I'll tell you about this later. I was going to do something for you, but yeah, later.
Yeah, it is my computer. It is not the internet. I'm running at 99% because of system interrupts.
Mm, okay.
Speaking of people who develop computers beyond their functional optimism, I have something called system interrupts interrupting my system. So this is.
Oh, perfect timing too. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
else said that, Pop is streaming right now, which I forgot. I'm like, oh, I try not to conflict with that.
I don't worry about that. I mean, do you really care? I mean, people
Mm-mm.
they can always tune in later. It's not like, oh
Oh, I
no,
know. I just think, a lot of people that follow him follow you and I. So I'm like, oh well.
yeah. Yeah.
A few shout outs real quick before we get to the super chats. You know this guy, right? Oops, this guy.
That's you. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I know that. I know both guys. Yeah.
you know
Ah,
both.
look at him. Yeah. That's. I wonder how the truck driving is going. He should be graduating now, or
He's got to be doing pretty
certified or whatever.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us an update in the chat if you're still here, Tornado Kid.
Mm,
We got Joe. We'll talk about Joe later. He's
okay.
Scott, and you remember Parker, right?
Of course, the guy I'm envious of because at 23 years old, he's making $100,000 and self-employed as an EA. Yeah.
He's not quite there, but he'll get there.
He's
So
further ahead than we were when
oh,
we were
it's not
his
even
age. Yeah,
close,
not even.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, yeah. So I think you recognize this guy too.
Dung is fun for $2. A man with no tools doesn't know how to fix things.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to
I
fix
use my tools. Tell our idiot dentist friend I use my tools. I got all these. They're not clean tools. I didn't just go get them at Harbor Freight. They're all dirty. I've had them for years.
He likes to rip on you a little bit because he thinks you have it so easy compared to
I
everybody
do have it.
else.
I do have it easy. I do. Okay. I won't lie. I'm not saying like you don't understand how hard it is being a podcaster. No bullshit. It's easy. It's the easiest gig I've ever had. But it's not like I just wake up and I would look 7 a.m. I go and but yeah, maybe I had a cigar today sitting on my patio.
That's
Maybe.
fine. What's wrong with
Yeah.
that? Do you
Nothing. He probably thinks I do that, 5 hours a day or something. Maybe I yell at the internet and say poop, fart, shit, and jizz, and he got made money for that. Ugh.
do you ever sleep in or you get up?
We, meaning me and the GF, we were curious about you because you were over 40, right?
Yeah.
How is it you could sleep till 10 a.m.?
When it's not my busy season, I
Right.
tend to stay up pretty late.
Oh, okay. So you push it forward then.
I do, but I will tell you this. You did mention 10, and as pathetic as this sounds, I really strive to never go past 10.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of pathetic, I think, if
Mhm.
I'm sleeping past 10. So I do try to get up between 8 and 10 most days. It just depends on how late I stayed
Mhm.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, but how still even like 9, like because I've noticed no matter how hard I try, I'm up at 7:30.
Could be
And
well, I mean, you've got a few years on me, not a ton, but a
mm,
few. So maybe it's a hormonal thing or something. I don't
mm.
know, but I can
So
still sleep in.
the GF speculated you might have had some kind of medicinal help with that sleeping
Th-
in. So
that's a factor sometimes. Not every night, just maybe a couple nights a week or something. That can
mhm,
be a factor. Yes, it causes
mhm.
one to stay up late. You remember you go, you guys
Remember
going to bed
you two
anytime
idiots
soon?
giggling like Cheech and Chong. It's like midnight or something. Like, hey, you guys going to bed or what?
So, man, I just got to tell you this one more time because this was a factor in Reno as well. When Atham and I are engaging in fun,
Yeah.
nothing gives us more joy or nothing makes us laugh more than thinking of you so irritated with the two of
I
us.
wasn't that irritated, to
But
be perfectly honest. I wasn't that irritated. I was just more bemused by you two idiots. Like, hey, what? You guys are in your 40s. What the hell?
but it
I'm
makes us
glad.
laugh
I'm
more.
glad. Yeah, I'm glad it helps. I'm glad it assists that you two guys walking around Rito high on diesel fumes or whatever the latest drug is you guys do. I'm glad you guys have that to reflect upon and get a laugh out of.
It's just, man, the joy it brings us. So thank you for that, for providing
I
us for that joy.
glad to help. Glad that's what I'll be remembered. I'll be dead. You guys be delivering a eulogy. This was time.
And you're the one that introduced Atham and I.
Yeah,
So.
I'm glad you guys are cool guys. Did you know, man? $2 Canadian. I know a BTM
BTM.
grad, bachelor's in
Did you know, Matt? Clarify what BTM is. I'm not sure
grad.
anybody
He's now a
told you that.
junior accountant. Chad for the win. A BTM, business
BTM.
and technology management.
BTM might be a school. BTM.
Big
Well,
titted mama. I don't know.
clarify for us, did you? Because I am curious what that means. I'll read this one. I saw this. Steve Duncan said there was a payroll glitch at PwC and the interns were not getting paid this summer. New York City interns are sleeping in their cars. They have cars in New York City and can't make payments. I thought that was just awful because when you're an intern, it's miserable anyway at the Big Four.
The irony of one of the Big Four not having their payroll together.
That happens more than you think. They screw up W-2s. It's like, you're the Big Four. How are you screwing this up? I get that a lot.
How long do you think they've been coasting on their name?
Oh, dude, for decades.
Really? Like at one day, Price Waterhouse, Pete Marwick, whoever, they were the top notch. They were the elite, and now they just get by. And because the quality and caliber of Americans all over has gone downhill. So I got to imagine they have problems just like any other accounting firm or company.
They do. And again, I was only there for like 6 months, one busy season, but I was just thoroughly unimpressed with everything about my Big Four experience. And that was in 2011. So I don't even want to know what it's like now.
I guess like the bulge bracket, those big time financial firms that your coworkers wanted to go or your colleagues wanted to go work for, like when I was graduating from college, like you could expect 80 to 100-hour work weeks. You're going to bust your ass off. Now they're scaling back on that. Now they can't find people, and it's like, you guys, all the major corporations, you had your day in the sun, and now with the internet, it's getting out that you guys aren't worth working for. And so you're not the elite firms you used to. I mean, look, God, have you seen what's happened to Disney this summer with their movies?
It's gone downhill, hasn't it?
Well, not necessarily the quality of the movies, all that too, but I think they're up to like over $1 billion in losses.
Wow.
In movies alone in 2023. They're certainly not in the black.
People are tired of the same old shit, which I won't even mention, but you know what I'm talking about. Like
a black vagina, crusader girl, don't need no girl boss, race swapping. And then let's not also forget, aside from that, horrible writing and horrible plots and just a flood of the same damn movie over. And hey, you know what? I sure can't wait for that new hero movie to come out again.
God, just real quick, did you know you kind of nailed it? A business technology management major ended up in accounting. So okay, cool. Maybe that shows how desperate they are for talent now. They're taking non-accounting majors.
Oh my God. I remember the Big Four just shooting me down all the time. Could never.
Good.
Never. Yeah, no, it was in the hindsight, it was not getting into the New York firms was a blessing. Yeah, no, it was all a blessing.
Good. You know this guy.
The Y2A problems, $5. You should have a stream every 2 to 3 months that's only dedicated to sports ball.
So I went to a sports ball game Friday evening, with my dentist friend and a few other people. Clary, I am going to actually give you this. It's kind of boring to sit through a baseball game, but it was fun to socialize with them, and they had the most kick-ass fireworks after the game.
Oh, did they? You were at Comiskey, awesome. Right?
Yeah, it's now called Guaranteed Rate Field, which is a stupid name.
Wait! Some asshole insurance company bought out the rights. It's not Who was Comiskey? Was he like a famous baseball guy or something?
I don't even know. But for a while, do you remember a company in the late '90s and early 2000s, well, mid 2000s, called U.S. Cellular?
Yeah.
So they were U.S. Cellular Field for like 20 years or something after they stopped being called Comiskey. And then in 2016, it's actually a mortgage company, Guaranteed Rate. And so they call it the G Spot, Guaranteed Rate Field. It's just a stupid name, but I mean, it's a nice stadium.
The G Spot. It's so funny.
Well, the fireworks made it, plus hanging out. But dude, I hate sitting through baseball games, so I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, well, I went to the or I watched the hot dog eating competition of the world. So that was the sports ball I got in this year. That's all I'm going to watch for sports.
Yeah, he texted us all excited. I'm watching a sports ball event, and it was that July 4th, Joey Chestnut Kobayashi hot dog eating contest, and it was on tape delay.
It was
So
on
it
tape
broke.
delay.
It broke my heart to have to tell you you're watching a replay of
Well,
sports ball.
I just thought you guys would be impressed. I was watching sports ball.
I mean, I was because I was like, he's actually trying to try. So good for
No,
you.
no, I wasn't trying. It was we had dinner. We were sitting at the bar because you get quicker service at the bar, and they just happened to have that on the television.
Well, I don't know. I was impressed. You know my truth, I think.
My truth, the king, $5 is being a 1099er the same as received the same 1099, 1040, etc. as the sole / operations manager of an LLC. I've yet to go S corp because they haven't exceeded 50K in AGI.
You know what, my truth, stick around because this is actually the accounting topic I was going to get
Oh,
into tonight. I actually have a very good topic tonight. So, but just to quickly answer your question, it's not supposed to necessarily be the same thing, but the Congress, either the Congress or whoever, changed the rule, and a lot of people are going to get fucked with this on 2023. And that's what I'm going to talk about. So, yeah, you'll love it, Clary, because it's going to make a lot of people miserable.
Is it going to make me miserable?
No, because you have a business. It's people that don't have businesses. They're going to get fucked.
Oh, rank
Yeah.
and file normies. Oh,
It's about to get ugly, dude.
Oh, but you all voted Democrat, so good for you, kids.
They're also the ones that did this. So,
well, yeah. The Republicans would. I love how everyone hates the Republicans. It's like they're the one. Like, does lowering your taxes or making your life financially easier count for anything? Like, they want to lower tax. Is that so bad? They're like, oh, you're not bowing down at the altar of trans people. It's like, yeah, but they are trying to lower. They're not right, but they're not burning down the altar either. They're just trying to lower your taxes. What's with the hate so much?
Just doesn't make sense to me. We got Scott for 20
That's
bucks.
20. Oh, $10 for me.
Yeah.
Keep those big donations coming in, boys.
Well,
I should probably do my job.
People, you got to earn your.
Some people work 80 hours a week for themselves, not to work 40 for someone else. Damn right.
I'm one of those people, and Scott, I know you are too. We talked about this, and that's the only way. I don't know about you, man, but that is the only way I can work hard is if it's for me. I can't do it working for somebody else. I just can't.
It's when I was doing ballroom dance classes, doing my online courses, and ASO consulting was still just beginning and writing books. I was working way more for myself than I was for my employers.
Right.
And it just, absolutely.
So he's absolutely right. And for you guys that are doing the EA path for the purposes of working for yourself, this is how you win the game of life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think you would agree with that.
Yeah. And then they're only working 4 months a year.
Oh, 5 to 6.
Okay.
That's better than 12.
Right.
Okay.
But they're annually, they're down to 20 hours a week on average.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So by the way, thank you, Scott. You don't have to keep doing this. Although Clary appreciates it.
I appreciate Chad's money.
Hey guys, I'm taking my second EA exam this month. 1 down, 2 to go. Awesome. Anytime we're getting updates like this, I want to show them. So, you know this guy again.
My truth again for $10. This second LLC is small side hustle. My first is a small steady growth in real estate. Okay. If I rolled first and second LLC together, activity together, then I pass 50K net, but wouldn't that require a holding company? No.
Because you actually talk. If you know the answer.
Well, I don't know if I know the answer. All I know is through my own experience. You don't have to set up an LLC for every business venture you have. If anything, I don't even know if they do this just for polling and research reasons and not even for compliance. But I don't think the IRS gives a damn whether you have 5 separate subdivisions within your. They don't. Yeah. So I have mine is categorized as media. Because I got consulting, I got books, I got podcasting. Well, there's no SIC code that those all 3 conveniently fit into.
Right.
Well, now there is, but so all you do is double the amount of accounting and paperwork you got to do. So have one LLC and be done with it.
It can be your name, my truth. Like a lot of people limit, in the end of the day, this really doesn't matter, but a lot of people limit themselves by naming something specific to their industry without
Hmm.
doing a DBA. You should only have one LLC and you can have DBAs, up the wazoo to call
Yeah.
different parts of it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do that, my truth.
Dung is fun. $2. Cappy, you're not wearing pants, are you? No, I have shorts on.
So do I.
Yeah. I mean, like short, not boxer shorts. I have shorts on. It's just cold in my recording studio, so I wear.
I was gonna ask why you wear a hoodie in there, but
It's cold down here. It's in the basement and it's all blocked off. I have my oddball curtains. Did you see the picture of it?
yes,
Yeah, so I have those in, so it keeps even more sunlight out, and it's very cold down here. So
yeah, the dentist was like, "What's he doing? Padding that room even more."
he just the. Can he just say, "Man, I'm happy for Cappy"?
He is.
He is? Okay, good.
We couldn't be friends, all of us, if we didn't bust on each other.
No, I
As much as we
know, I
could.
know.
Okay, my true. This is his final one, and then I have something to add about this. So,
Final question: what's pros and cons of a holding company worth it?
hold,
Not
hold
at
that,
his stage.
hold that thought because he
Yeah.
says this. My second LLC is totally different from the first real estate type, dude. You don't have to do it with two separate LLCs. You can have just one LLC that happens to have some real estate holdings in addition to the other business, which I don't think you mentioned. Like, you don't have to do it that way.
And he's so small.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The IRS. Okay, one, the IRS won't care if you made
Right,
$100 million or
Yeah.
not. And two, you're so small. Just save yourself the accounting nightmare of keeping two sets of books and just do it under one company. And that's your holding company, is your LLC.
Exactly. And you told us what the revenue was. And frankly, I say this, people get insulted when I say this, but you're not significant enough for the IRS to really care.
Yeah, that doesn't insult me. I'm very happy I'm too small for the IRS to care.
Believe it or not, some people I tell that to are like, well, what are you trying to say? I'm like, I'm saying that you're in a good place. So don't be pissed off that I'm saying that. So, okay. Drew
for $2. Haters gonna hate, bros. What beer are you drinking?
This is Three Floyd's Gumball Head. I'm almost done with it. So when we're done with the super chats, I'm gonna take a break and get another one. So be prepared.
How long? I wasn't late, was I?
No, by a minute or two.
Like a minute. Oh, okay. All right.
You're fine. You're pretty good at that. Whereas some of the guys, the Red Evening guys, they'll say they're starting at a certain time, and then 20 minutes they'll come on, but they own it. They're like, we were shooting the shit.
You should come to Vegas sometime and record in the live studio. When they say 2, people finally roll in around 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. I don't like, hey, you want to come? We'll see.
Oh, just real quick, did you know Masculine Geeks Vince got banned from Twitter yesterday?
Again?
He made it sound like it was permanent.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll just set up another one. So
that's kind of tough because that's he had a 2,000 followers, but yeah,
he doesn't care. He's got his own life and everything, so he'll set up another one. We'll tag him on the Twitters in his different account.
Sorry, Vince.
Jackson Whittier, $5. Does professional liability insurance cover IRS penalties for tax preparers?
No, what it does is cover if you end up getting sued for some reason, or you end up in some kind of legal battle, as long as you weren't like 1,000% negligent, which really won't ever happen. So it's just extra coverage. Plus, ideally, you'll have an LLC that'll protect your assets anyway.
Can accountants get like accountant-specific insurance for such situations?
I'm not aware of that because I mean, the accountant technically does not have to pay for the penalties. If I make a mistake, someone says, well, I had to pay this penalty. As a token of goodwill, I might pay a little interest or penalty. I'll give them a rebate or something, but they're not required to pay the extra tax. That's still money that never got claimed.
Right. Yeah. No, I see. Yeah.
So it doesn't cover that, Jackson, but you don't need it to. Good to see you, by the way. He and I've corresponded over email before.
I like all these questions, because I assume they're younger than us, and these guys got the hustle, and they're asking all these right questions to get a good accounting practice put into place.
No, this is why I wanted to do this channel, man, because we need a venue for that.
Honest question.
Yeah.
Are you helping out people more than the Big Four right now?
I think I am, because I'm telling it like it is.
Absolutely.
I think so, but I'm biased. Do you think I am?
No,
You do?
you are. You
Okay.
are because no one else they got their heads up their asses. They're too busy making money and making it hard to get the CPA or whatever BS, the drama and the politics and their DEI and their ESG and all that. And here is like we're just giving people brass tacks. Like this is how you set up your own practice. You never have to deal with that shit ever again,
Right.
or ever. Period.
All I can say, last thing about the big four, we got a lot of super chat. Like, all I can say is if you can use it for a year, maybe two, just like take all the crap from it, but get the fuck out of there once that's done.
Drew, $2 Cappy. The e-bikes are great but
buy a one wheel.
Buy a one wheel. Oh, okay.
You don't need an e-bike, do you?
I got an e-bike.
Oh, right. Yeah.
VeloWave sponsor me. I use it actually. It's kind of fun. So
they have them around here, but I've never tried it. Sam Whiskey.
Sam Whiskey, most American name in America. Hey, Vlad, will humanity ever evolve out of religion if tax exemptions are abolished? Or are we forever delegated to sacrificing goats on top of the pyramid?
This is a good question I wanted to ask you. Do you think religious organizations deserve to be like nonprofits where they're not subject to any tax?
Well, they are nonprofits.
That's what I mean. Like, do you think that's fair? Because a lot of them really abuse this. Like they earn so much money.
Well, so do NGOs and nonprofits in general. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd say no. All of you are paying taxes on your revenues and your fundraising. Period. Because look, if you want to be a nonprofit and quietly, it's like St. Jude's Cancer, they go and they help out the children, or the Innocence Project. Okay. They're trying. All right. But man, those are the exceptions to the rule, because every nonprofit and pretty much every religion or church or synagogue or whatever, they sure want to have a say in public policy. It's like, oh, you want to have a say in public policy? Well, then you better pay the taxes then. So and then your modern day nonprofits that every leftist runs, that's just a money-making scam. You guys they should all be paying their taxes. Absolutely.
I've always been a bit torn on this one because, I mean, on the one hand, they abuse the hell out of it. And I think probably some of that should be taxed. But on the other hand, I'm not going to say all, but a healthy portion of religious organizations, I find myself agreeing with a lot of the people that belong to them. So,
well, look, there was a time where the Boy Scouts of America would just help out little boys become Boy Scouts, and the Girl Scouts of America would sell their cookies, and churches would raise money for the poor. Now they all got their dick in politics. It's like, no, Americans are no longer mature enough to handle that and to be trusted to not basically use it as a money-making operation. And so I would, and here I'll go so far as to this, even though I am pro-capitalist and low taxes. In the .com days, and more recently with the second Silicon Valley bubble, I would go so far as to investigate the feasibility of some of these technologies that these startups were doing, because there it's just you're scamming the investors out of money, where they had no intention of actually bringing a product like that. Elizabeth Holmes gal, she's more of a obvious example, but
she's in prison now.
Yeah, she's in prison, and there are thousands of people who like, oh yeah, we got this magic doodad, and they would just use the funds they raised to pay themselves executive salaries. So I would be like, yeah, I guess we're taking back your house and all your salary, because you never had any intention of making a profit, which is fraud. Yes. So I would definitely have something like that.
Also, I've seen firsthand the abuse, the large salaries that people don't deserve working in these nonprofits, because there's I have seen it firsthand.
It's a money made. This is why one of the many reasons I don't donate to charity, and nobody should either. And Chad, what is the main reason you shouldn't donate to charity?
Because it doesn't actually go to the charity. It just goes to
very, very close. Even more overarching point.
Because it's giving money to people who don't deserve it, like laziness. What is it rewarding?
Have they solved one damn problem?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because they wouldn't even exist. Like they want to cure the problem. They just want to treat it
right. But what I'm saying is, okay, it's been how many years? Like 50 years, 60 years. Like donate to this, help fight childhood hunger. Look, if we haven't solved it by now, what you're doing isn't working. So there should be no donations to charity whatsoever.
Totally agree.
Mm.
People ask me that, and I say, if you want to do something, help out a friend or a relative, and don't just,
There,
blindly.
I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, well, you
You're on your own.
brought it on yourself. I don't care, man.
You know what? I'll read this one. Jackson Whittier for $2. Will we ever get another show with Mr. Texas? So I happened to talk to him a couple times this week, and he really wants to do another show. And I wanted to make sure Clary would be open to that. And
No,
it
I
sounded
hate
like
Mr. Texas. Who could possibly like Mr. Of course, yeah. Why not? Yeah, I love having Mr. Texas on.
so we'll coordinate schedules. But yeah, well, I absolutely want to do it again. But I want Clary there for that because it's just fun when we all do it. So I think we will do that in the future. Dude.
I like Joe Hatchet. Woo!
Scott, you
now
don't
you
have
know
to
what
do
it
this.
feels like, man.
Scott, you don't have to do this, man. Like,
Yeah, he does. Yeah, especially when it's on your channel.
it's making me feel bad.
Cappy, I have some friends retiring out of the Marines. We are all multiple deployment veterans. Can you give some advice on how not to hate life afterwards? My transition sucked, and working in corporate America made me miss the old days deployed. That's why I say to stay in. Like at least with your toe in it, like the reserves or the National Guard or part-time cop. I have had nowhere near the experience. I never served, but I desperately miss working for my security team back in college. I mean, we can't recreate that. And I didn't know how good I had it. And I think a lot of military people, deployed or not, you don't realize the friendships you're making and how good it is that you have this team of guys, like you got this family, and then all of a sudden you take that away, and then you're stuck out in normie world, and people suck, man.
Yeah.
They suck. And so that's why I was saying, like, don't okay, fine, you served your tours or you put in your dues, but look at the reserves, look at the National Guard, then you could pursue a civilian career if you'd like, but then you still got weekends or once a month or however it goes, and you got those guys. But I would really, I mean, what are you going to do? Go work at the Big Four? Are you going to go work for Initech? I know the military sucks. I know, but generally the private sector sucks more.
Yeah. And Scott, Joe and I, we've talked a bunch, and he's really grateful because he was a fan of yours, and then he and I got connected like through my channel, and we've talked a bunch. We've done a couple shows, so he's in the trenches just like me in the same industry.
I guess the only other thing is, like, go get the menu, go read through the menu, not to like eke another couple bucks out of you, but there I took everything to do in life. You just got to stay busy. You have to. And so I'm assuming you're working out, hang out with your buddies regularly, go to the VFW, participate in the VFW or American Legion, whichever military social group you want to belong to. You just gotta get out there and keep doing it. I keep myself busy, obviously working on projects and hiking and doing that, but yeah, it's hard. And especially when you come from a really great environment where you got your military buddies and now you don't. And so it's just like that's you're going from a high and you're like, oh my God, this is what social life is in America.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very depressing. Very.
He's busy enough with family and everything, but
does he have a kids and family?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd focus on, there you go.
Yeah. I'm grateful whenever he has time to even listen to us. So you don't have to keep, I'm going to say it, Clary will disagree. You don't have to keep giving us these, dude.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't, but
you really don't.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't feel like you have to.
Sam Whiskey, $5. Cappy, are airlines practicing a caste system by implementing first class seating? Well, yeah, by definition they are.
Yeah. That's not necessarily a bad thing though. Like, is
no,
it? No,
it's not. I mean, it's if one might even, well, I'd have to look at the numbers, but the argument might even be, or the reality might be, that when you charge Thaddeus McWinthrop III up front $500 for his seat, he helps subsidize the other seats for people sitting in the back row.
Right.
So I, and I'm also, it's the airlines. If they want to do it, they can do it. But yeah, they are presenting a caste system that you don't have to participate in, though.
Right.
Because what I think the airlines I fly, I don't think they have first class.
Dude, Allegiant Air, I'll just say that was an interesting experience flying that, from Reno to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, you didn't like Allegiant?
It's not that I didn't like it, but I told you how they tried to charge me $5 just to print my ticket, and then the
Yeah.
guy felt so bad about it. He's like, "Here, let me show you how to do it on the app." I
Yeah.
just that
Hey,
rubs me the wrong way.
that's how they make their money. Just so you know, if you're flying these discount airlines, they nickel
Yeah.
and dime you. So you got to be a bachelor or a bachelorette and carry a small backpack, and that's it. And check in on the app and just follow the rules, and you could get some really cheap flights. But yeah, that's their business model. Spirit, Frontier, JetBlue, and Allegiant. Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, but I understand.
Well, we aren't all big downtown Chicago executives like you.
Downtown, that place is
Oh.
dead.
Dung is fun. $2. Cappy, have you seen UFC fights? You might like. I've seen them. I enjoy them because they're some of the fights are really good. But I don't. If I'm there, it's because I'm eating. I'm at a restaurant or a bar.
You're not
And they
there to
just
watch it.
no, and they distract me from talking to the people that I'm usually trying to host, and so I really don't like watching. Otherwise, they're cool. I wouldn't attend one because you'd have to spend 2 hours to get there and sit still for a while. Like, yeah, no.
I got this one. Super Pilotish. I went to a sports ball bar on the weekend. I counted 40 TVs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's some of the ones I've been to. It's nothing but TVs, dude, and I mean
Right.
nothing, like
Yeah.
everywhere.
And he's Canadian. I'm wondering, if it's the same thing up there.
It has to
There's-
be. They're
you think-
so into hockey and some of their other stuffs.
I am hoping that as I face my deathbed, that we will see the demise of professional sports.
Sports ball.
But yeah, I want to see the death of the sports bar. I would love to see where kids aren't going out anymore and they're not getting their wings, and people, I don't know, have conversations or just stay at home and look at porn. I mean, quite literally anything is better than sports ball.
There's just a lot of sports ball fans.
Jern 345 for $5. Thoughts on the big four layoffs outsourcing to India? Fifth biggest firm laid off 3% of its U.S. staff. It is giving out lowball raises this week, worse than the big four. What's the fifth biggest firm? Grant Thornton?
I thought it was Grant Thornton.
Hang on,
Yeah.
let me look it up. Grant Thornton. Yep, number 5.
Figured. I actually interviewed with them and got an offer out of grad school, but I went with Big Four because you do that.
Big Four.
Whatever. Thoughts? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Like, these companies are trying to save money and they're not finding good talent anymore. So yeah, they're going to outsource.
Once again, you think American companies are for Americans. They are not.
Yeah.
Not that I'm against India either, but they are not. And 3%, that's not that big. I think a lot of the firms are going through a cost-cutting measure because they did a lot of hiring over the COVID days. So a 3%, that's not big. When you get Elon Musk where he cuts half the staff out of Twitter, that's the style I like to see, the blood and the organs in the street. That's good stuff. But this is just keeping your costs under control.
All right, Red Hawk has a great point, and because I'm out of beer, it's what we're gonna do. He says, "Let Chad take his piss," and I've been far too long.
All right, go take your piss. I didn't know you had 2 beers before you.
Do you want to hawk? Go ahead and hawk anything.
I'll hawk my stuff that I'm sure everybody already knows of. Well, hang on. Let me hawk other people's books. There. Ooh. Vitruvia 144. This is written by SP Daily. I have not gotten to this book because it is thick. Oh, you're like, yeah, well, look, he gave me a $2 bill. Look at that. Oh, good old SP. SP, he wrote a book I really enjoyed called Welcome to the Divide. So I haven't read this one, but I did read his book, and that was almost 10 years ago. So if you like science fiction, dystopia type of future, near future type of books, this guy there. What do I got here? Black Man's Got Poverty. There's a buddy Marcus. I'm just going through my book pile. Bachelor Pad Economics. You guys never heard of that one. Oh my God. How Not to Become a Millennial. Jeez, I write big books. How Not to Become a Millennial. That's for Zoomers and for millennials who want to save their lives. What else I got? Reconnaissance Man. Book of Numbers. I don't know. Oh, The Menu. This is the hardcover book which I actually very much like because it feels like a real high-end menu. If I could have gotten it leather bound, like with the print, with the gold print, I would have done it. But this is I don't know, this is kind of a fun book. If you have questions, I'm always at assholeconsulting.com. Don't send me accounting career questions. Send those to Chad. I mean, I can answer them, but Chad's much more experienced and probably has the much more correct answer than I do. And so I would strongly recommend you contact him there. Otherwise, for those of you without fathers, those of you who are leaderless and guideless and listless because your father wasn't around, there's my course that is always open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The Dad You Never Had. We can't all have Mr. Elkins as a father. And so, yeah, that's available on Teachable. Just search that. There's also my introductory course to getting your financial planning act together. So if you have not started your financial planning and you don't have that initial inertia to start your financial planning, that's the whole point of the course, is to say, here's why you should start your financial planning. And that is called Achieving Financial Excellence. That is also available on teachable.com.
Which course was that you were just talking about?
Achieving Financial Excellence.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know, that's the everyone, all the financial planning books are all like, well, it's like Batch of Pat Economics. It tells you all the rules and what to do and when to do it and compound interest and da 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 da. But there's no spiritual, philosophical reason where you get a kick in the ass to actually go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think people need a motivation. Aside from, well, you're really like, do you look forward to, well, you probably do look forward going to the dentist because you have a cool friend as a dentist.
I'm one of the few, yeah.
All right. Do you look forward to your colonoscopy that you should probably be getting?
Well, I'm too young for that, but I heard a rumor about that
You're
being
too
necessary.
young?
Yeah, isn't it?
You
You have to be
45?
over than 45 for that, right?
What are
Or
you,
is it
43?
50? Yeah, but don't you have to be over 50 for that?
You don't have to be. Yeah, just okay. Have you had someone shove your finger up your ass yet to make sure you had no prostate troubles?
That's not happened yet, but you know, I do know that's a necessary component of health.
Do you look forward to going to the doctor, finger up your ass or not?
Not particularly.
No, but if you could have a motivating force, would that help your health?
Yes.
Okay, and well, that's what this book, the course Achieving Financial Excellence, does. It gives you an incentive to start working on your financial planning, so you actually do it. Yeah,
yeah.
Or you go to the doctor, have a finger shoved up your ass.
Real quick, this is called Half Acre Daisy Cutter Pale Ale. It's one of my favorites. It's a local Chicago brewery. It's only 5%, but I rip on Chicago, but the last 2 beers that I've had, including this one, they really have some great beer out here.
Awesome. Can't wait till they implement that city's income tax and they tax those people. That'd be great.
Our new mayor, yeah. Don't get me started. We got to stay on point. There was an accounting topic I wanted to get to.
I know. I keep getting all this rain and manna from heaven right now. This is wonderful.
I did not expect this. I've seen Chase before.
Chase Robideau, $5. Yeah. Had a solid interview yesterday at a mid-sized firm. It really is just bad timing for the job market. Did he graduate recent?
Let us know, Chase. I can't remember. I have heard that people are really expecting a recession.
My spidey senses. Now, keep in mind, I haven't paid attention to the economy in years because I haven't been paid to do so. But I'm getting recession feelings. Like, people are laying off a little bit here and there. Maybe not a big one, but yeah, it may. They're getting a little more ballsy. Well, we need you to come back to the office. Which I still say no. No.
I just refuse, man. If they tried to do that to me, I'd be like, fuck you, because there are other companies that aren't making people do that.
Yeah. So. You know who's recession proof though?
Well, both of us.
Accountants.
Yeah, accountants are very recession proof. I keep telling you guys, there's a shortage of us. I guess we're just not cool enough, so people don't want to be us.
Yeah. The Tax God. $10. Thoughts on sabbatical for tax guy? 10 years into W2, badly burned out. Not sure if I have the energy to start my own firm yet. You don't have the energy to keep working W2.
Yeah, you can't.
It's less energy to start your own firm, I'd argue.
Well, the tax god, I mean, I know we talk about this a lot, but have you considered, I know you're burned out, but have you considered starting it on the side? Because isn't that what you're supposed to do, is you try to...
He's at a problem where you're tired and you're exhausted. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to achieve a certain escape velocity, which is going to require 60 to 80 hour work weeks. And you do your daytime job and you do your side hustle.
Yeah.
Now, me and Atham, I guess we're just used to that, because that's what we've been doing since we were young. But I don't care how tired you are after a 40-hour work week. Get off your ass whether it's going to the gym or side hustle or working on your house or paying off your student loan debts, working a second job. You do not progress. You're just treading water at 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. And I don't care how much it sucks, you have to do it. And so he continues on. I probably have 30 to 40,000 a year passive income and could live on 40, 50. What? If he's got that for passive income, why don't you just scale back? And then, what do you?
Yeah. Yeah, because he also said this, that he works tax season year round and it doesn't end in October. So yeah, man, if you have that much passive income, then you don't have to do this,
Right.
right?
Can you get a smaller apartment?
Yeah. He might be married with a family and everything, but
Yeah.
we don't
But
know.
okay, he has a lot more leeway. He could drop down to part-time.
He's
And then
also ripped and not
also,
lazy.
no, okay. Well, see, you're putting a lot of time at the gym, right? Well, no, he look, I don't think you can do it. Like, especially when you're young as a college student, you can't be going to school, working a full-time job, going to the gym and working on your side hustle. You'll burn out. I mean, there's just not enough time. So usually you have to triage them and go and order a priority. And then when you get some free time up, then you fill in the next priority.
You know what, man? I'm going to say, yeah, take a sabbatical. Enough
Mm.
of this. If this is what you need to either start your own practice or, get that passive income to be higher, you don't have to do this. If you've been there for 10 years, you've got the experience. So take a
Yeah.
break.
No.
Maybe that's too extreme, but that's how I feel.
No. Art Vandalay, $5. Half of today's super chats go to a step ladder so Cappy can reach his light switches. Just so you know, I have a step ladder already, and I have an extended ladder, and then I have a painting ladder. I have 3 ladders because I'm a short guy.
If only we were taller. Real quick, Red Hawk says episode 200 for Red Evening this week. I always like to plug Rare and Jack and those guys.
Yep.
So
if they wanted me to be on it, probably will go on. Sam Whiskey, $2. Hey Vlad, has the IRS server ever been hacked?
not that I'm aware of, but TurboTax has been hacked.
Did that really?
Yeah, in 2016 and 2017, they had to settle this. Like I put it on. TurboTax has fucked up quite a bit in the last 5-6 years.
Wow,
So,
all those Social Security numbers gone, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
they're so amateur.
Logan Donovan, $2. Are you concerned AI will take over white collar labs? Why?
Labs? I'm not at all. I've said this before. I'm not at all concerned about it taking over our industry, at least on the tax side. But I don't know what white collar lab is.
Jobs, maybe. I don't know. White collar jobs. I'm not worried.
Labor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tried to use AI to create an image of like a pinup girl holding a sign to advertise academic composition. I wasted like 20 minutes of my life. I'm not impressed with AI. I'm not impressed with AI.
Well, everybody's saying it's this revolutionary thing, but in my opinion, at least in accounting, it's not even close to being there. Jeez, you guys.
BFC Z8 Nap, $20 generous dollars. Graduating with my bachelor's of science and accounting in December in Texas.
Okay. Texas,
currently kissing ass back home in Connecticut to get into the Big Four. Wow, why?
You want to go back to Connecticut,
Texas,
dude? Connecticut's bad.
Why would you go to Connecticut?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Should I find a small firm in Texas for tax season?
Yes.
Ultimate goal would be so. Yes. You don't have to go to the Big Four, dude.
Yeah.
No, stay in Texas. Don't go to Connecticut.
Connecticut sucks.
Bunch of hedge fund assholes. Why would you?
There's nothing. I mean, no offense to anybody from there, including you, BFC. But look, I know I keep saying this. You guys, I cannot emphasize enough the shortage of talent in the industry. The world is your oyster in this. If you want to go out on your own, just work for a year or two for a small firm doing tax prep, and then build your business. People are screaming for this. I'm telling you.
I take it back. Kevin Savo's from Connecticut.
Who?
Kevin Savo. He does films, amateur films, but they're actually quite professional. He has like Rollo, Donovan Sharp, Hotep Jesus, Jamie Lee Peters, like Red Pill guest celebrities have cameo appearances in his shows.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's Captain Save-A-Ho is his main one, but he also did a full-length feature film that looks professionally filmed called The Opener.
The Opener.
Yeah, I can't recommend. I mean, it's not the greatest movie ever, but it's a good movie, and you're impressed this kid did it on like a budget of like $20,000. Kind of like Kevin Smith with Clerks. It was real. Yeah, it's real impressive what he did.
I remember that. I saw that for the first time, and I loved it back in '95 or whatever.
Nonstop Dre, $5. I know why Cappy's mad all the time. I would be too if I was overlooked by society, figuratively and literally. I know this joke might go over his head. He sits there. He sits in his dorm room or wherever he is and comes up with these. That's all he doesn't study. He's not going to graduate early. He comes up with these jokes. That's what he does.
You have to remember, I've met Dre, and I know where he lives. Yeah. He also has some exciting things going on. I'll leave it at that.
Good.
Yeah, because I talked to him. So Red Hawk already left, but here's his
$5. There's a sports bar called Twin Peaks where the ladies dress in lingerie. I'm a fan. Was it a strip club? Hang on.
Twin Peaks.
Girls.
I mean, you'd be supportive of that. You go to a bar and it's a sports bar, but it's also like Hooters.
Is Twin Peaks still in business? Led by veteran CEOs. Twin Peaks, could you produce sales up 11%?
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll go there. I like cute girls in lingerie.
Sure. You don't have to watch the sports ball because
no. I think isn't it just like Hooters? Like the girls just dress up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where is it located?
That would be giving up Red Hawk's location, so we won't say. He tries to keep that secret. Okay. We have a place here in Chicago called Tilted Kilt, and I think
I've been to Tilted Kilt.
Yeah, girls are all right there. Real quick, Parker asks, "Hey, Chad and Cappy, would y'all consider a job that requires a bachelor's degree to be entry level?" That's how they frame it, but I mean, as I've been saying, in accounting, if you have a pulse and you're showing yourself to be competent and hardworking, they'll hire you.
The job is what determines if it's entry level or not. Whether Karen unnecessarily requires a college degree for it is irrelevant to whether it's entry level. You shouldn't have to have a bachelor's degree to do an entry level job, but that's what a bunch of Boomer and Gen X Karens have ordained. So, but you don't have to take those jobs either. You could just lie flat and lay low and quit.
All right, last two, Dre,
TFM says USA and stagflation is like the 70s. Thoughts? He's correct. It's not stagflation though. He's technically incorrect, but I know his intention. We do have inflation akin to the 70s, but we do not have the collapse in GDP growth. We have sclerotic growth, but we do not have a contraction. We're limping along at what, 2.5 or some.
It's a really weird state of affairs. I'm not sure we've seen this historically, so scary.
I'm not.
I mean, not for us, but
not for us. We don't have kids. We don't have debts. We have food.
We got nephews and nieces.
I know I love them, but you know what? The world can still go to hell. I'll protect my nieces, but I'm cheering against the culture. I just like, that'd be great if there was a recession. That'd be fine.
We'd be fine. All right, last one, and then we got to get to the subject. So.
All right, my truth, $2. EACPA, best bra. They hate us because they ain't us.
I'm telling you, the EA is the way to go. So.
All right, did you have a topic for today?
Yes,
Oh, you have a topic.
I do have a topic. Believe it or not, this is an
accounting podcasting. Christ,
this is the longest we've gone without getting to it. So, okay.
An hour of me taking your money. It was a good day. It was a great day.
That's a win-win. All right, so this is something I've wanted to talk about for a while. And just to refresh you guys' memory, this was supposed to apply for 2022, but they ended up delaying it. You know what? I'm just going to skip to the article because we've been going at this a long time. The best article I could find was this one, even though it's from CNBC. I'm going to read it just to explain what we're going to talk about here. So, starting. If you use third-party payment platforms like PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App to collect payments for your side gig or business, the Internal Revenue Service wants to remind you to report payments of at least $600. This rule is aimed at individuals who run a side hustle, small business, or do part-time work. So if you're just sending money to friends for a restaurant bill or a vacation, or collecting a one-time payment for selling something online, this won't apply to you. Timeout. Bullshit. That is absolutely incorrect. Like, I deliberately chose this article to contradict that point directly.
Why is that BS? Because the IRS doesn't care
The
what the
company,
intention.
no, they don't. The companies that are now required to issue the 1099s don't care. PayPal doesn't care. Venmo doesn't care. Whether you're a business or personal, you're getting a 1099.
Because it takes them too much time to figure out what you're
Yes.
paying. They can,
Yes.
yeah, because okay, so the compliance costs for PayPal to figure out what to send you for a 1099 is impossible. They
Yes.
cannot afford it. They would go out of business. So they're just going to look $600. Boom, there it is.
Everybody.
Awesome.
And the thing is, people are like, well, you can just have either a business or a personal account. No, that's true, but they're going to send you a 1099 regardless. So I'll keep going. Yeah, go ahead.
Will women who show their tatas on the internet have to pay?
This
Because
might
they're
affect
pretty
them the
girls. Pretty
most.
girls shouldn't have to pay, right? Because they're girls and they vote Democrat, right?
Some of them are my clients, but yeah.
So will OnlyFans, they don't pay you out through PayPal, but they pay you, so they have to follow this
Oh
as
yeah.
well, right? Okay, so
yeah.
there's going to be a bunch of dumb broads who don't think, oh, taxes, oh, that's just something nerdy guys do.
Let me continue, because
Okay, all
that's
right,
exactly what
all
I'm
right,
about to talk
all right.
about. So the article goes on. Before 2023, third-party transactions for business owners and side hustlers followed different thresholds. Individuals needed to report gross payments exceeding $20,000 and report earnings if they had more than 200 such transactions, according to the IRS. So the threshold was a lot higher before. Like, you had to really have a shit ton. But as a result of this is my favorite part. As a result of the American Rescue Plan Act, isn't that amazing how they baked
You all hate
this in there?
Republicans and they just want to lower your taxes. The Democrats are doing this to you and making but they put a pretty name on the dildo they're about to shove up your ass, so you're okay with it.
This is a big dildo, dude. This
It's
is
the happy stick. They're putting it where?
Right up their fucking asses, and this is going to hit people so hard. So I'll just keep going and then we'll talk about it. But as a result of the American Rescue Act, any transactions made after December 31st, 2022 that exceeds $600 must be reported to the IRS regardless of how many of those transactions you've had. These earnings were already taxable, so it's not a change in tax law, but rather just a reporting change. Okay. And you know what that means. Now there's paperwork for it.
There's a lot more pay. So will the demand for accountants go up or down this year?
I think it's going to make them go up, and we're gonna break this down a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with this, and it ain't going to be pretty. It's like, what's up, Bacon? I've been hanging around on his show lately.
Bacon. So I got to tune into Bacon. I could use some bacon.
Whoops. Yeah, I still say Techno Man on his show is the best. But anyway, continuing on. So basically, this was hidden because you didn't exceed the threshold, but now anything over $600, you're fucked. So continuing on. In order to report these earnings and transactions, you'll need to file Form 1099-K, and I'll get to that. According to the IRS, you should receive this form from each third-party payment platform you receive transactions through. This is my favorite part. If you incorrectly receive the form for personal transactions, the IRS recommends that, quote, you contact the payment platform for a correction or attach an explanation to your return. Do you think that's going to work, Larry?
No, it is. YouTube, Google won't get back to you. PayPal won't get back to you. All these Silicon Valley firms, they don't have help. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful.
And then it explains, the IRS Form 1099-K is a form issued by third-party payment processors to their users who receive payments. I'm going to read this specifically because this is how everybody's going to get fucked, okay?
Okay.
Peer-to-peer payment platforms like PayPal and Venmo, online marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace, real estate marketplaces like Airbnb and Vrbo, automobile crowdsourcing platforms like Uber and Turo, and ticket resale exchanges like StubHub and SeatGeek, and more. So, Clary, let's say you're into sports ball, and it's
I'm in.
you, me, and some others, and we're gonna go to, I don't know, a football game, an American football game.
Mhm.
You say, I'll just get all the tickets, and the total is what, like $650. Just say we're doing box seats or something.
Yeah, that would be okay. Okay, and
Okay.
continuing on in this imaginary world, yeah.
This is very hypothetical, obviously, but so Clary decides he's going to get all the tickets, so we all pay him, that money, so he can get all the tickets. Well, guess what, dude? If you were a W-2 employee, now you're going to get a 1099K. Go ahead.
Do I then I gotta fill out a Schedule C, don't
Oh
I?
yeah,
Oh, this is great.
dude,
Oh,
you
you
get to see
Democrats
this.
keep voting yourselves in there. This is wonderful.
Clary, I'm about to actually show you. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to show you guys how to fix this on a tax return. We're all about solutions here. It'll be quick, but man. So, do you see what I'm talking about? You're going to have all these W-2 normies. Let's say you go to a really nice steakhouse, right? And one
Yeah.
guy ends up collecting all the payment.
Or someone fixes your car, like a buddy of yeah, I could see it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Perfect example here from OK Lord. How about paying rent with your roommates? Yes, this is going to
Yeah.
cause so many fucking problems starting in 2023.
Mhm.
I mean, this is really going to.
It dawned on me there are younger people in my life who occasionally I give money to. Um, if I send them money, like, just because it's their birthday, and enough people send them, but like these young, oh God. Mhm.
There was another article that I was going to read instead of this one, but this one's better. And it basically talked about teenagers doing things like mowing lawns and shit. And
Mhm.
I mean, imagine that. You happen to make $625 one summer, which normally you don't report because you're 14. Well,
Right.
guess what? You get a 1099. Now you got to report it.
Oh,
So, that's essentially what's going to go on. And so, I don't think I have done this with you before. Because I'm solutions oriented, and you know that a bunch of people, unsuspecting people, are about to get fucked with this. I'm going to show
right.
you how to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Are you gonna show something on a screen? Or?
yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going deep.
Yeah, because I've gotten some feedback that people kind of like it when I do this. So, give me just 1 second.
I think it's gonna cause a resurgence in cash. People are just gonna go to the cash machine and
Oh, absolutely, man.
yeah.
Because people aren't this is gonna piss off so many people, and they don't know about it. They're gonna get
Right.
this. No, let me tell you what's gonna happen, Clary. They're gonna file their taxes like normal, and they're gonna get these forms, and they're gonna ignore them, and then the IRS is gonna send them a CP 2000 notice saying you underreported income. This is gonna explode the need for resolution accountants. You guys, this is the time to get into it. So, you guys, let me know if you can see this okay. I'm not really sure.
You might want to zoom in. All I could tell is that's like a that looks like a W-2 from a W-9.
So this, I think it's better now because you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an example. I obviously had to, black out all the identifying details here, but this was
Well, you got the tax ID number there.
Oh, that doesn't matter. That's public info. This is PayPal.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay,
because everybody knows PayPal's tax ID. So this is an example of the form that we're talking about that people are going to get that they're not going to expect. So this is a 1099K, and there's going to be a shit ton of these coming up. So if you look, you get, so this person in particular, all they did, dude, was sell a TV on eBay and then some other little item, but it was a really good TV. So do you see the total here? Can you read that?
1701 or something?
Yeah,
All right.
1701. This was not a business. This was not somebody trying to earn extra income. He literally sold it to his cousin. That was it. But now this is for 2022, he got this 1099K form. So because we're solutions oriented here, this is how you fix it. So give me 1 second. I've got my tax program here. This is a little tricky doing this.
You guys are so lucky to have Chad Elkins on your staff here.
I think so. So here, I'll blow this up. I'm hoping you guys can see this.
6969 North Middle of Nowhere Avenue, Rapid City, Atham Clary. Oh, Atham Clary's my favorite. Yeah,
you guys remember Atham Clary?
Yeah,
right?
Atham Clary. Yeah,
Atham Clary. So For those of you where this is a problem, and it's going to be a problem for you guys, this is how you correct the
You
situation.
changed the
Okay.
name to Athemeldecua.
Athemaldecua. Uh, so you've gotten this form 1099K and you're using TurboTax or whatever. This is what you do. So you can't see it, but I'm opening up a pop-up that allows you to add a 1099K because that's what you're going to get is 1099Ks.
All
Okay.
right.
So give me one sec. So the 1099K was from PayPal. So you take
All right.
this right here. This is all automatically populate. So Atham Clary got this $1,701.50.
Right.
So you're required to put that in. So we put that in.
Can I guess what you're going to do philosophically?
Sure, absolutely.
You're going to no, you can't. Then you'd have to 1099 someone else. You're gonna deduct it somewhere else on the taxes.
Yes, but there's a specific way you have to do this.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just guessing, but go on.
No, it's fine. Like, just as a quick timeout, I am not. For those of you that use TurboTax, I hope they're gonna give you an option to do this. I don't know if you've used TurboTax before, but it's basically pop-ups that try to guide you through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with this, but if you were using me or if you're trying to do it on your own, what you have to do is you have to put the 1099K in there. And no matter what happens, you have to put it on Schedule C, which is like if you have a business. Now, do you remember what Schedule C is?
Yeah, that's your
Larry?
business income statement.
And you remember that's what you were using until I came into your life and we switched you to an S Corp?
S Corp LLC combination. Right.
Correct.
Right.
So obviously people aren't going to know that, you're normie. So you have to put it in as though you have a business. Okay.
Right.
So then you create the business and you go to Schedule C. This is from January when we talked about selling dildos but that's not what, that's not what this is.
Buymydildos.com.
Yeah. You might see more Atham Clary when I do these more technical.
Hey, if you ever do a teachable course, obviously you can't have dildos or anything.
Right.
Atham Clary has to be your example.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you guys, you input the 1099K as though you do have a side business. This is unavoidable. You have to do it this way. Okay. So as you can see, we go to the Schedule C and it's inputted as though you earned income, right? Can you all see this? So this is how you get around this problem. And what you do is you put it in and then you enter another expense right here. And this is exactly what you say. Okay. 1099K income from third party payment processor that is not related to a business. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but you have to be very specific to the IRS. You have to say that whatever we're doing, this is not supposed to be counted as income, okay?
Okay.
And then all you do is you input the exact amount that was on the 1099K, and you see how we're back to zero here?
Back to zero taxable income, and there you go.
There you go. So
would a sales tax solve this problem?
A sales tax would very much solve this problem.
Well, we don't want a sales tax because then those evil, rich, white Republican males would, not be taxed as much.
Yeah. In all honesty, man, like I do have some skepticism that TurboTax and all these self-prep programs are going to do the right thing with this. I think it's going to just take people by surprise. They're going to count it as income.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to guide them into properly excluding the income. So either people are going to not report it and get notices from the IRS, or they're going to be forced to count it as income, and it's just going to cause a shit ton.
Oh no! And what I think in the end, the people at the IRS know this shitstorm is coming. They know, and like, oh crap. So and I think they're going to be sympathetic, and they're not going to, we got your $1,701. It's once again. Which is why I argue for a sales tax, is the compliance cost. You are now adding, Lord knows, at least 100 million extra hours of labor on the people and their accountants. And you're increasing the cost to everyone. But Chad, let me ask you this. Are rich people going to be affected by this?
Oh, fuck no.
Who gets paid? Hey, the rent situation. Is it rich or poor people where you're all splitting rent?
It's all going to be people that do not deserve this type of scrutiny.
Right. It's going to be all lower income, not all, but
Mostly.
oh, I need help with this. Oh, hey, I'll buy you pizza, but let me reimburse you. And it's going to affect you normal people and the poor people disproportionately.
It is.
And who do you poor people vote for?
You know,
They vote for the Democrats, and you vote
they
for those
caused
big.
this.
Yeah, you caused this. I don't want. It's just Republicans in the Senate. So I don't know. It's kind of, it doesn't affect me because I have to report this
It
regardless
doesn't
to the
affect
paper.
you
Yeah,
or me, but it's
no, it
gonna
doesn't.
affect it's gonna affect a lot of people who have. Do you think this is broadcast on the news? Like, do you
No, of
think?
course not. No.
I
That's
mean,
why we're taking over you're taking over the job. I'm not joking. This generation is taking over from the old guard. You're taking over for the big four. Robo Investors is taking over for the financial planning services firm. Me and, well, I'm tangential, but the online independent media people are taking over for traditional media. So it's only going to be people like you and me that bring this out to the people.
right.
And other, maybe did John Kim or Kim,
He actually did.
he did
He
talk about
Brian
it.
Kim
Okay.
months ago when this was going, because this was announced. Remember, it was supposed to apply to 2022,
Right.
but mercifully, the IRS was actually advocating, like, look, this is too soon. Don't make people do this.
Right.
So,
So, but people like him are doing the job the media should have done.
right.
Right.
And Bacon has a great point here. This is one step closer to just
Yep.
bartering because people are going to get sick of this shit.
Yeah.
And I have some concerns that cash is going to go away intentionally, but
It might, but then we're just gonna have to barter tax services, barter dental services, barter
yeah.
asshole services. Yeah, if girls had something they could barter with, I don't know what it would be, but I'm sure they could figure out something.
Yeah, at least ones that have that capability to
Yeah,
drum up
the
interest.
dwindling percentage. They're like, oh yeah, I want your currency. We got some more super chats then?
We do, and I can tell you're ready to bounce. So
I gotta eat.
me too. Me too. I went straight from the gym to this. Go ahead.
Oh, there we are. Nonstop
Yeah.
Dre, $2. The Great One takes an hour to get to his topics. Did I tell you about the Great One?
So he came over recently, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but so I was listening to his podcast, and he's talking about, like, I was listening to Aaron Cleary. I'm reading his book. It's a pretty good book, because he'll never tell me that was a great book. He's a great writer. He'll never say it was an all right book. I was bored and I had scratchy balls, and I decided maybe I'd read the book. And there was one thing I disagree on. And then he starts to tangent. Well, then he forgets to come back, and he didn't remember. So I asked, I said, what the hell was the thing that you disagreed with about my book? And I can't remember what he said. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. But I remember, like, he tangented and never came back to get that one.
Sinlibsoch.com. He has a new one that just came out today.
Oh,
so
does he?
probably,
Okay.
Check that one out tomorrow. We got Dre again.
Nonstop Dre, Saving America Act equals Split Roasted Act. How ironic.
That's honestly what pissed me off so much, is that they are the ones that are causing this extreme, like, pain and headache, but no one's going to know about it, and they're still going to.
I just wait for the system to collapse, and there's no food, and then things are going to get so much better, man. Then it's going to make so much sense. Then people are going to be like, I don't have any food. I'm like, too bad for you. Well, what do I do? Starve or go grow some food?
Ugh.
And then we'll all learn again. Chase Robodo, $5. Graduated grad school with an MS and accounting degree in May. Finished grad school with no debt, and got both of my employers to help pay for it. There you go.
That's
awesome.
how you do it.
All right, that's the way it's done. Boom, boom.
All right, you need to go, right? You're just hungry.
I don't have to go. No.
I'm going to read a very quick reader question. We're going to be able to answer this quick, and then we'll call it. Okay. Got this a few days ago. We'll call him Derek, not his real name. Hi, Chad. I recently began watching your show with Clary quite a bit. I'm interested in doing what you do for work in the future. To keep this as brief as possible, I will give as little context as possible, so please feel free to email me back if you need more information. My question: I'm in the Canadian Navy and deploy for months at a time throughout the year. Do you think completing a bachelor's of accounting online is feasible both logistically and financially while being in the military full time? Follow up to that. Now, listen to this. Do you think it is necessary to complete a bachelor's of accounting and then become a CPA if my goal is to become a tax professional? If not, what might you suggest as an alternative course of action to get
Okay, hold
started?
it. Did you charge him for this?
No, because this is the answer to this, dude.
I
We
know,
all
but this
know.
is okay. This is something you charge for. Maybe you give a military discount,
Yeah.
but this is a 3-piece question, and it's taking our time.
He did actually ask in a follow-up, what would it cost for this? So I will
Okay,
eventually,
all right. Well,
yeah.
but since we've already committed to answering this,
You know
the
the
answer is
answer.
yes, no.
No.
Yeah. So yes, you should go to school online while you're deployed if you have the free time to do so. No, you don't need a degree or a CPA to go and do taxes and I
Yes.
don't know what the Canadian system is like, but I'm sure
Similar.
that they are desperate for accountants and bookkeepers and
Yes.
payroll as well. So you don't need a CPA. The CPA certifications are a little bit different up in Canada. I can't tell you. I know a very powerful CPA in
Yeah.
Canada. Yeah. So
Wait, I know him too.
do you?
Are we talking about the same? He's
Let's talk after the show
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Because I got to meet him years ago, 10 years ago, and he's a really cool guy. And I was like, oh, really? You're one of those? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, geez.
I think I know who you're talking
Okay,
about.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, so yeah,
Famous accountants.
you did answer this, but Derek, you can just get your there is an EA equivalent in Canada. I don't really know about it, but you don't have to necessarily go this route. Now, if you have time and you want to do it, you are more marketable if you can complete the CPA, but don't think this is the only way you can do it. And that's why I wanted to bring this up because there are other ways besides going the traditional route. And that's what I've been preaching on this channel forever.
Good. Outstanding.
One final super chat, and then we'll both get some food.
My Truth, the King, $2. Hey, you stand up and salute when mentioning the Patriot Act.
Yeah, Patriot Act.
All right, that's it.
That is it. Clara, any final thoughts on anything we talked about? Or?
No, I got to do some work for the GF, and then
Work for the GF.
I have to print off a shipping label.
Oh.
Yeah, because I have a printer here. There's something here that needs to be shipped out because she's out of state. She can't ship it out. So I got to go in because I'm a loving, caring boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my excitement for tonight is printing off a shipping label. I was potentially going to go to like Spearfish, which is on the other side of the Black Hills. I think I'm just going to go to Rapid City and get some food instead, which is a fraction of the distance.
All right. Well, the great one and I think you probably shouldn't go to Perkins. At least not that one we
I'm
tried.
never going to Perkins again until I hear they got their act together and it's not just a bunch of mentally impaired clowns. I'm not going. I'll go to the IHOP. You know, if we're going to go,
That was
there's
good.
an IHOP. You know.
I want to thank Clary for coming. Thank you very much.
problem.
And you guys, thank you a ton for the super chats. You know, it makes Clary happy because he likes
It does
to.
make me happy. Yes, very happy.
And as I said, if you have any more questions or you have topics that you might want to hear about, let me know and we'll get them back on there. So, Clary, when should we hang out again?
I'm thinking soon.
Soon.